Remember seeing something like this in art class? It's called Magic Stairs or Zigzag Cliff. When you look at the bottom left corner, it probably looks like you're looking at a staircase, but if you switch to the top right corner, then it looks like you're looking down from a zigzag cliff. Funny story, when I was showing my husband Aaron what I was up to with school stuff, and he was trying out some of the illusions, he said, let's try to show them how to try a staircase. And I was like, I don't know, that's going to be too tricky. I don't want to frustrate them too much. Stairs are really hard. So he did a Google image search and he said, here, try to show them how to draw something like this. And it was the same image. And I laughed and I said, well, we already looked at that in class and that one was drawn by a computer, so I don't know. But he showed us a way that we can do this with two papers, making a cutout and then tracing the steps. So let's get started. Using a scrapped paper, draw about 8 or 9 lines to make steps. These lines should start as a horizontal line. It's probably about a 1/2 inch to an inch, and then a vertical line. Let's count how many lines I had there. I think there was 9. I think anywhere between 7, 8, or 9 will work. If they're too tiny, it's just going to be too frustrating. So once you've cut them out, label them 1 and 2. You can see they're already starting to look like stairs. We have to put them on the paper a certain way. So take number 1 and put it in the very corner and just line it up. Trace. And now when we put the second one on, we're going to need to slide it up and over to the right. Your finger can be a good guide. Slide it up about a finger space and then over to the right. Here, now it's showing it. So I'm sliding it up 1 finger, and now on the bottom right side, I'm sliding it over and I'm measuring down there at the bottom. See where I put my finger at the bottom? So up and then over right. Hold it in place. If it starts to move, just try to line it back up and trace. I suppose you could freehand these, but it's a little tricky to get the steps parallel. When looking at these stairs slanted, it looks like a diagonal zigzag. We're going to connect the high and low parts of each part of the zigzag. You can think of it like valley, hill, valley, hill, valley, hill. We're going to draw a line that looks diagonal, connecting those points. All of these lines are actually parallel to each other, and you're probably noticing by now that we're getting a lot of rhombus shapes. This very top one just goes off the page. Okay, now it's time to start coloring a little bit of a pattern. It's going to be black and white. I start with black on the tops of all the steps. I like to outline the top first. One way to find the top of the step is to look for the horizontal line. Remember remember the horizon is horizontal, so that's how you can remember horizontal, as opposed to vertical, which is tall up and down. Dot, skip, dot, skip, dot, skip, dot. That way I know which ones to color. If your tops end up being white and your sides are black, that's probably fine, but I was just trying to stick with the same example. I noticed my marker wasn't working, it was drying out, so I used some rubbing alcohol with the marker. I saw this trick somewhere and it helps them work again, but it just turned my marker kind of gray. However, it worked better and it was smooth, so I just used it, and it was kind of a nice gray color, so I just went with it. So in case you were wondering, that's why it looks gray. Okay, when you're coloring, try to color in the same direction, make it as neat as you can, because it's really important that we have crisp edges. Remember, the one we saw in class was made by a computer, so we want ours to look very exact. I don't recommend outlining the parts of the stairs that go downward, the vertical lines. You can just outline and color the tops of the steps. Now I'm coloring the side. I like to color one area first, like where I think it's going to go outside the line, and then I fill in the big shapes after, and I can go faster. Crayon or colored pencil works great for this. I guess you could use watercolor, but you'd want to keep it away from the stairs. But we're just filling in this big shape with just one smooth color. Now that I'm thinking of it, I guess you could put a design there or something, like if you did dots or lines or something. You're the artist, so you decide. But I just chose a simple color. I really liked the way the blue looked. So in the first one I used blue marker, the one on the left there, and you can see in this one I'm using a blue colored pencil. Okay, I'll just let the video play out the rest of the color. I hope you enjoyed this really cool, challenging staircase, the Impossible Stairs.